if you're looking for speakers, you might be considering your choices between floor standing or the more compact bookshelf type of speaker, or in fact speakers on stands. Now the Prodigy range, there's only two at the moment, is in effect an entry-level range from PMC, and Bruce has been testing the smaller of the two speakers, the Prodigy1 bookshelf speakers. Now Bruce, they're very plain, simplistic looking, shall I say? Is that a deliberate design move?
I'm not sure if it was deliberate. PMC set themselves a really, really tough task because they had as we've tested before, the 25 series, which are hugely popular, but the entry-level speaker is 4,000. It's an awful lot of money for a small bookshelf speaker. So they wanted to try and find something a bit more acceptable for more pockets, and part of that was the look. And it's been said by some reviewers that it's plain. I think it looks absolutely fantastic because it looks really modern. Whereas the 25 series are a bit thatched cottage in a way because of the real wood sides and things like that. And I think these look much, much better. And they've got a really nice detailing around the tweeter and the base unit of a tiny gold line and a really nice matte satin black finish. I think they look absolutely fabulous.
Now, of course, if you go for a bookshelf speaker or a speaker on a stand rather than a floor stander, the bass is always a concern, both in terms of the sound and the placement of that bass. How does that sound in this speaker?
One of the other reviewers on a different publication had a really good line, and I'm really jealous of it because it was great, because he said these small Prodigy ones think they're floor standers, and what he means is that the bass response on them is absolutely terrific. The PMC have always had this very smart transmission line technology where it folds the bass around, spits it out the front, and it is fantastic. You wouldn't know what you're listening to if you covered them up. You wouldn't realise they were such small speakers, given the range of sound they have and the depth of bass that they can produce. Now that, to me, was not what I expected. I use bookshelf speakers all the time, but I didn't expect that kind of performance from them. But the other thing that PMC talk about is just being able to put them down and let them play, and that wasn't what happened in my case at all. I was trying them on some very, very smart stands, custom design stands from made up in Newcastle, and not expensive, a couple £100 each. Beautiful metal stands. They fit these ones absolutely perfectly, the Prodigies. But it took me quite a lot of fiddling around to get them into position so they sounded as at their premium side. And PMC recommend that if you draw a line from the centre of each speaker, it should meet about 50 centimetres behind your head. Now that's different to a lot of other speaker manufacturers who say you should do it and have it on your nose. But PMC's, the beauty of these Prodigies, as with other PMC speakers, is the 3D imaging of the soundstage, and it isn't a tiny little thing that one person can hear, and if you turn your head it disappears. If a cat walks in front of the speaker it disappears. It has a nice wide range that a lot of people can enjoy at any one time, but it did take some setting up to get them to work like that on the stands. I then tried them on the bookshelf, on a wooden bookshelf at the same height as the speakers, and I just plonked them on there, and they weren't great. They were a bit boomy, the bass had all sort of got a bit overpowering, and I spoke to PMC about it and said, not so sure about that, and they said put 4 pieces of blue tack underneath the speakers and it would transform it, and lo and behold, it was a revelation. So whereas, a lot of people will say you've got to put these speakers on stands to get the best out of them, on this particular one, it's not the case. You can do them on either. And speakers, I don't know about you, Angela, but speakers aren't everyone's taste. They're not possible to have in everyone's rooms. You just can't fit them in. So having this ability to put them on both places is fantastic.
I have, in fact, just downsized speakers, but I've not tried them with blue tack under the feet. So I will go and try that sound advice hack right now. Talking of downsizing, what size room are these best suited to? So they are small speakers. Are they small but extremely capable speakers in a medium to largish room?
My room is very open plan, as you can see behind here. It's and they performed well in there. I wouldn't put them in a room any bigger than this. I had them positioned about 2 meters apart, and I was sitting about 3 meters in front of them, and that to me was ideal. They would be fine in a smaller space than that. A bigger one, I think you'd be pushing it. I really do. They're not difficult speakers to drive at all. They are very, very forgiving on the size of an amplifier. You don't need to be pushing them hard to be able to get a good sound out of them, even at low volumes, which again is another fabulous advantage. You don't have to be having them up, turning them up to 11 to be able to get any enjoyment out of them. They perform nicely at a medium volume, and and again, in real life circumstances, not everyone can listen to stuff at the max.
Thank you very much, Bruce. And the full reviews for both these Prodigy 1 speakers and the sibling speaker, the Prodigy 5 floor standers, are on the Sound Advice website now.